22. Listen, like, comment, subscribe down below. Question number 2 off the programming exercise. Um, this one is just basically asking a company has determined that the annual profit is typically 23% of total sales. Write a program that asks a user to enter the projected amount of total sales, then display the profit that will be made from the amount. Let me actually make this easier for you guys to see, so I'll bring that down there. Alright, so in order for us to answer this question, it did give us a hint. It did hint to us that use the value 0.23 to represent 23%. So thank you for that, for making it a lot easier. Just in case you guys don't know, this decimal will make this a lot easier because we have this percentage side, and obviously, with the operation uses, especially with the symbols like multiplication, division, floor method, all that stuff. Be careful not to get too carried away. Because this symbol actually in Python definitely means something else. So anywho, when it comes down, time to that, I'll talk more about that. But for right now, let's just focus on the question. So basically, all they're asking is the total sales. So one rule of thumb that I always like to keep in the back of my head is variable. Assign a variable. So if you read this question again, it says total sales. Okay. So we know, the annual profit is typically 23% of total sales. Okay, so what we'll know is with this, in order for us to figure this out, we have to say, hey, is this a string? Is this a float? Is this an integer? But looking at this seems like we're gonna have a float. Okay, so we'll use this, and then we'll type in enter projected amount of total sales, because that's exactly what we're trying to figure out for this situation. Okay, and then now that we have our total sales situated, now we have to figure out about the annual profit. So like I said, when it comes to answering these questions, what's being asked, the answers are typically there. So it says the annual profit is 23. It's typically 23% of total sales. All right, so what we'll do is we'll type in annual and then profit and then equal sign 0.23. Like I said, follow the hint right there, times our total sales. Okay, total sales. And next, what we'll have to do from here is make sure that we can actually display this. So we'll type in print annual profit, because that's the goal, because it says then display the profit that will be made from that amount. Okay, so let's break this down before we execute this. Let me bring this back up. So it says the company has determined that the annual profit is typically 23% of total sales. Alright, so typically 23% of total sales. So fun fact, what I like kind of doing in order for me to get comfortable when it comes to Python is, especially when I'm answering these questions, is I'll take this, correct, I'll put it in a Word document. This is just my little secret for answering these questions, and then I'll break down what's being asked. So it says a company has determined that the annual profit is 23% of total sales. So what I see here is, okay, annual profit is typically 23% of total sales. So I'll take that, I'll highlight it, and I'll change it to a color. And then it says write a program that asks the user to enter the projected amount of total sales. Okay, cool. Right here. That's another one right there. Alright. So then I'll take that and I'll make that a different color as well, because it says we got to write a program that asks the user. So what we'll have to do is we'll say, hey, so the projected amount of total sales, so we know that, hey, total sales, exactly what we had in the beginning, that's what's being asked for us to write. Okay, and it says then display the profit that will be made from the amount. Oh, display. So when they mean display, in other words, what they're talking about is print. See, I try to change these colors just to make it simple, and I try to break it down one sentence at a time. Obviously, when you get better at this, it comes pretty naturally, but this is just kind of my little cheat sheet to help you in order to be successful when it comes to, writing code in Python. Alright, so let's go back, and actually let's kind of run this and see what we get. Alright, so let's say enter projected amount of total sales. So basically, there is no given number for us, so we can make whatever. We'll say 1,000. All right, and when you do the calculation with their total sales, you take 1,000 times 0.23, and you get 230, and that was the annual profit. All right, fans, like, comment, subscribe down below. Hopefully that little cheat sheet helped you a lot. I'm looking forward to doing more later on. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you, and let's move on to question number 3 next.